system, similar-esque, I guess, in ways maybe to like Portal, but let's just give it a go and give it a try. Let's open up our player, and we do this by highlighting our player, and we're going to click Edit from our hierarchy, or we can navigate him through there. And inside here, let's create ourselves somewhere new. And what we want to do is we want to press a button to create a spawn point, and then once we press a different button, we will hopefully want to teleport to that location. And what should we do? Should we set up some controls? Yeah, let's quickly set up some controls. Let's do this properly. Because we could just say, like, if keyboard button Z is pressed, but it's good to make sure we set up things properly. So I'm just going to go to my settings, input, and I'm going to create 2 new buttons called set telepoint, which I'm just going to do as Z. And I'm also using a controller. So I'm going to do left bumper. Oh, what's it called in here? Left shoulder, I think it's called. And we're going to want another one, which is going to be teleport, which will be, I guess, T for teleport. And I'm going to do right shoulder. Excellent. So now those are set up, let's create those in some space. So we want teleport, set teleport, and teleport. Excellent. So we need to create a point, and what we're going to do, I'm just going to move this window out of the way for now. And I always like to create a new folder called blueprints. So all the blueprint elements would go in here. So if you've got any characters, and for us, this is going to be a sort of teleport portal, I guess. So I'm just going to hit create, and an action will be fine. And we'll just call it teleportal. Underscore BP. Don't forget your underscore. Don't put spaces, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. Right, and I'm not going to bother putting a mesh on this, but if you wanted to, you could just drag in and drop in a mesh, a model, or, you know, I'm just going to put a cube in here, I guess. I'll scale it down a bit though. To, I don't know, 0.5. That'll do. And let's put simulate physics on it, so when we spawn it drops to the floor. Alright, so when we want to set our teleport point, what we're going to do is we're going to spawn actor. Spawn actor from class. And that's going to be the new one that we just created called teleport. So we look through here and we say, what do we want to do? And it says we want spawn this type, spawn transformation. Now, you'd know if we'd press compile, it's going to say no, because we don't have a transformation point, which we can see here and here. The others we don't actually need to worry about, it's just the spawn transformation. Now, we want to spawn this transformation kind of actually just in front of us, right? So, we can just get this arrow, or we could create our own arrow where we want to actually spawn this, which is just as simple as going into your add component, create an arrow, and let's just drag it in front. And I don't know, it'll go there. Like I said, we put simulate physics on it, so when it spawns, it's just going to spawn here and drop to the floor. And we're going to drag this in here, and we're going to say we want to get its transform. Now, if you remember from, we want its world transform. Get world transform. Now, if you remember from when we was looking at Unity and other things, transform is made out of position, scale, and rotation. So we're just going to drag that and drop that in there. So we're going to get our world arrow, and we're going to spawn that there. And let's just give that a test, make sure it actually works. Boop. I mean, we'll potentially limit that later on, but for now, we're spawning those in front of us. And let's just put you there. Now, when we press teleport, we want to go to this location. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to just take this location, this value here, and we're going to set it. So let's create a new variable. So we want to hold the information for that. And telelocation. Telelocation will do. And let's save it. It's a transform. So we want to change it to transform, compile it, drag it out, get, oops, no, we don't want to get it because we've not actually set it, we want to set it, sorry. So once it's spun that, we're going to skip to this and we're going to set that. Now, when we transform, it's going to say, where do you want to teleport? And we're going to teleport ourselves. So we're just going to drag the capsule component out because this represents ourselves. We're going to set world location. Or do we want to set world transform? Because that might bring in rotation. I don't know if we want that. Let's test. Usually the best way to do it is test. We might actually just want location. I think we might just want location. Oh well, we'll find out in a minute. So if we bring that in here, and let's give it a go. So let's say we dump a spawn point over there, and then when we press R, yeah, it's not. Oh, I think that was because it's a spawn point. So that should spawn here. Yeah, so that teleported us over here. Actually, it didn't affect our rotation. And I thought it might. You know what? I actually don't like simulate physics on that. I'm going to turn that off. And instead, don't forget to compile it and save it. And instead in our viewpoint, I'm just going to move my thing a bit closer to the floor. I mean, again, I don't know if you'd want a portal here. In theory, you don't actually have to have anything. You could just remove the cube, or you could just tell it to be hidden in game. I don't actually want to do that though, because it's nice to have a visual representation of where we're going to move. And what else? Like I say, if we did want just location, because it's worth actually having a quick look at, let's just untick you and delete you. In fact, we'll just delete and delete. We're going to take our telelocation. We're going to change it to a look. Can we set it as a location? Let's get world location. No, because it's going to be vector 3, isn't it? And then we want to create, and instead of having to create the variable over here every time, if we use this method, we can press this, which is going to promote a variable, and it's going to create a vector 3 this way. And no, it's not being named properly, so let's just go in and call it tele vector. And we're not actually using u anymore, so we can get rid of u. Now in the location, we could split this and just wire up our televector. Get to the vector into location. And just if we needed to use the other one. So that spawns on the floor, and then boop, teleport. Now we could stop it so it stops spawning these. And there's a couple of different ways we could do this. We could just do a do once. Now what a do once does is it pretty much does what it says on the thing. It does once, and then once we've teleported, that's when we would probably want to reset this. So now we can only spawn one, but then if I teleport, and if you don't want collision on that as well, because I was just bumping into that, it's actually a bit annoying, we can just go through to it, go to its collision settings. So we go down, find cube, instead of block all, I'm just going to put no collision. Alright, and that is the teleport system done.